Welcome to the Age Well Home and Lifestyle podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Bradley. I'm the founder of Age Well Home and Lifestyle. This podcast is rooted in one essential truth. To age well and thrive, we must be radically curious. Curious about who we really are, about what truly matters. Curious enough to question everything we've been told so we can finally design a life and home that reflects our truest selves. Here we treat life as our masterpiece. We see ourselves as detectives gathering clues, uncovering our deepest gifts, and consciously curating a lifestyle and home that is both healing and fulfilling. Join me for solo episodes and conversations with guests where I help us get closer to the root of living our best lives in mid-age and beyond. Welcome back to the Age Well Home and Lifestyle podcast. I'm Kelly, your host, and today we're diving into something incredibly important and incredibly timely. Your 2026 can feel completely different, but you must start now. I want to walk you through why December is the most powerful month of the year for midlife and beyond transformation, and why waiting until January keeps so many people stuck in cycles they've wanted to break for years and sometimes decades. So this episode is not about resolutions. It's about identity. It's about alignment. It's about truth. It's about becoming the person you know you're meant to be in the next season of your life. And remember, when I say becoming the person, your true self is already within you. You just need to uncover the true self and radically be that in the moments of your life. Okay, so I'm going to share with you something special towards the end, so make sure you stay till the end, okay? I open up a end of year lifestyle design reset opportunity, so make sure you stay till the end. But first, we're going to go deep because transformation rooted in truth lasts a long time. So why midlife is a threshold moment? Why do you believe midlife is a threshold moment? Do you believe midlife is a threshold moment? I want to start here. So midlife is not a crisis. Society tells us it's a crisis, but it's so not. It's so complex and it's so interesting that if you get curious about it, you just want to dive in and become your true self, or uncover your true self, as I like to say. But midlife is a threshold. It's the moment where the life you've been living no longer fits the person you're becoming, or again, your true self, that person you're uncovering. The tension you feel, the heaviness, the sense of something is off, but you can't articulate it. The desire for meaning, for space, for breath, for truth. That isn't a problem. That is a calling. That is your true self saying, it is time to wake up. Midlife asks different questions than your 20s, your 30s, and even for some your 40s, because midlife happens at different ages for different people. Midlife asks things like, who am I? Am I being my true self? Who am I being in the moments of my life? What do I actually want? What am I no longer willing to carry? What am I ready to step into? Who am I becoming? And what would a life aligned with my true self really look like and feel like on a daily basis? Now remember, I'm obsessed with this work about uncovering your true self and radically living as that, because that was my healing journey. It was my healing journey over a decade ago that woke me up to the necessity to uncover this information so that I could heal. And more about that later. But in our regular lives, in the mainstream world, nobody teaches us how to navigate this identity shift. The identity shift that, again, most people have the opportunity to adventure into in midlife. Nobody teaches us how to peel back the layers of roles and responsibilities and expectations and reconnect to our essence, the person beneath all the labels and the masks, our true self. But this is exactly what your midlife season is for. It's a homecoming to yourself, to your true self. And because most people don't know how to do this, they default to one of two things. They either, one, numb out. They convince themselves things are fine, even though nothing feels aligned. Or two, they wait for January 1st to magically fix everything because they think the first of the next year is going to just magically fix everything. And then they do the same habits with the same identity and wonder why nothing really changes. So December is your real doorway. And I know this after 25 years of working with people. December is a powerful month to decide and declare. So in my work, I say making the decision in alignment with your true self is powerful, but then you need to declare it. And it can just be to yourself. But you decide and declare that 2026 is going to be the year of uncovering your true self. Okay? December gives you space to hear the truth, a little start to the new year and the transformations you're going to have. Okay, so the real reason January resolutions don't work. I'm sure you know by now, if you're in midlife, why January resolutions don't work, but I'm going to go over that a little bit. So let's talk about the January resolutions for a moment. If you've ever said, this year will be different, only to fall back into old patterns by February, you're not alone. And nothing is wrong with you. The reason resolutions fail is simple. They try to change behavior without changing identity on the subconscious level. And again, identity and the subconscious, you will learn everything you need to know to be able to reprogram your subconscious. But basically, we're programmed from a very young age, really from conception to 7-ish is when our most powerful programming is done. And that subconscious programming informs every belief, thought, emotion, decision from here on out. And we continue to have subconscious programming lead our lives, and we drift through life, and we don't understand why we can't change when we're trying to change on the conscious level. So the key in all of this is we must reprogram the subconscious, and I teach you how to do all of that, okay? So you can't install new habits or rituals on top of an outdated subconscious self-concept. You can't do it, okay? Again, you need to change on the subconscious level. And with the information we have today in neuroscience, it is so possible. And do I risk to say easy? It's not easy, but it's simple. And again, I'll teach you exactly how to do it. So you can't build a new life from an old version of yourself that has a programming that on the subconscious level that is not you, okay? So your nervous system, your beliefs, your emotional patterns, your subconscious stories, they all need to shift first, again, on that subconscious level. And then habits change more naturally. It still takes work, but you can begin to curate your life better when you change the soil you're in. So think of that subconscious patterning as the soil. When we're programmed with beliefs that are not in alignment with our true self, it's like loads of weeds in the soil. We need to pull those weeds, get that soil nourished, healthy. That's our true self that we're living from, the soil. And then on a daily basis, we're nurturing, nourishing that soil to be more of our true self. Okay, it is amazingly fun work, honestly. So, lifestyle design is identity first transformation. It is subconscious reprogramming. At the very root, it's subconscious reprogramming. It's you uncovering your true self and living in alignment with that in the moments of your life. So, this is why the most profound work doesn't start in January, it starts in December. Or any other time of the year, really. But December is a powerful month, because it's right before January, and you know that time is coming where there's things you want to shift here and there, but you don't know exactly how to do it, okay? So it starts before the year begins. It starts when you make a decision that the next chapter of your life will not look like the last. And remember, this can mean big shifts or it can mean little shifts. But most people know deep down on a soul level that in some way they're not living in alignment with their truths. Again, it can be big transformations. You want big changes. Or it can be a few little tweaks. But you have the opportunity now to begin that transformation and change for 2026. Not a resolution. You're never going to go back to the old ways, but a time in midlife or beyond where you finally say, okay, it is time to reflect on the years I've lived, uncover my true self, and consciously curate my next chapter. Okay? So the regret that shaped part of my life work. Okay? So I want to share something personal. If you've been with me for a while, you know part of my why in Age Well Home and Lifestyle. But I want to say it again because it matters. And I want you to really hear it. So my mom passed away when she was only 68 years old. And that was just 2 years ago. And she didn't live a life fully in alignment with her true self. And again, I see this in many people, but I use my mom just as an example. I know she did live her truth in many ways. She raised my sister and I. She loved being a mom. She loved being a grandmother. Kind, loving. But in other ways, she just could not fully live her truth. She never gave herself permission to live as her true self. And really, I think, too, it was a generation thing. We didn't know what we know now. And once you know the neuroscience, you can't unknow it, okay? So I won't go into all the details of my mom's story, but like many people in her generation, many people in any generation, they don't give themselves the permission to live as their true self. They say, I can't do that, I can't do this. Who's that going to affect? Oh no, so many things that block them from living as their true self. Okay, and nor do I really know all of her story, right? We know our parents, or we think we know our parents, but we really don't know all of the stories. So it's just from my own perception, but my mom is a huge influence in why I decided to build Age Well Home and Lifestyle and help people in midlife and beyond. So she was so busy taking care of everyone else, so busy being who she thought she was supposed to be, so busy holding everything together, trying so hard to hold everything together, that she never got to fully be her. And I don't even think she questioned that. And I could be wrong, but I don't think she ever asked herself the questions of, who is my true self? Who do I really want to be? And I believe that misalignment, that lifelong, maybe not complete, but that self-abandonment contributed to her early death. And whether it's heart conditions, lung issues, fatigue, gut issues, the body keeps the score. And if you don't know that book, read the book. When we're not living in alignment with our truth, the body will speak to us. We have a mind, body, emotion, soul, yoni system. It all works together. Okay, we're not parts like the modern medical system says we are. We're one whole system: mind, body, emotion, soul, yoni system. Yoni for women. We're one system. And when we abandon our true self and we don't live in alignment with our true self, the body tries to speak to us. So physical issues arise. And again, this was my journey over a decade ago. Mine was with a major pelvic issue. And I had to uncover my true self and choose, decide and declare to radically live in alignment with my truth, to help myself physically heal. And along the way, I learned and healed in so many other ways: emotional intelligence, again, subconscious reprogramming, which helps it all. And again, we'll go into more and more about that, but back to my mom. So her passing reignited a fire in me. Again, I learned this stuff and been practicing for over a decade. I started a coaching program for women specifically of all ages who were suffering from various physical ailments, teaching them how to uncover their true self to help them heal the physical conditions. So I've been doing that for over a decade. Okay. Even once I got more into real estate, design, started Age Well Home and Lifestyle, I will always do the coaching work. It is just part of my true self and my soul work on this earth. So the fire of my mom's passing ignited in me. It was a clarity. So a clarity that I'll spend the rest of my life helping people avoid that regret. Okay, that regret. Because the greatest regret of the dying, the number one regret we hear, I wish I had lived a life true to myself. Let me repeat that. The number one regret of the dying is I wish I had lived a life true to myself. So how can we reverse engineer it? We know that most people regret not living as their true self on their deathbed. So let's reverse engineer how right now, no matter what age you are, you could be midlife and beyond. You could be 20, 30, 15 and listening to this. And finally question, who is my true self? And that's where I come in. My obsession, my work ever since my own healing journey has been, how do we uncover the true self? How do we live in alignment with her in the moments of our life? How do we do that in this modern world that's so busy and not focused on that? That's my obsession, and that's the coaching work and mentoring work I will always do with women and continue to do. Okay, so again, the greatest regret of the dying, I wish I had lived a life true to myself. They're not focused on success, they're not focused on being perfect, not focused on being impressive, but being true. So that regret is preventable. And midlife is when we have the chance to begin to prevent it, right? Or again, no matter what age you are that you're listening to this, this is your time. So this is why I do the work I do. This is why I teach lifestyle design, true self lifestyle design. This is why I open this work every December on a bigger level. And I'm coaching people all year round, but I like to come out in December and share this more because I know most people in the mainstream world are thinking about New Year's resolutions, okay? Because this is the work that helps you come home to yourself before it's too late, okay? And only if you're on your deathbed is it too late, okay? You can be 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, no matter how old you are, and finally say, I'm giving myself permission to live as my true self. So what is lifestyle design actually? Okay, and I like to call it true self lifestyle design. It's not just lifestyle design. You're not just putting together self-care habits. Okay, but let me go into some detail. Okay, so now I want to explain what the true self lifestyle design actually is and why it's so powerful. Lifestyle design is not traditional coaching. It's not therapy. It's not mindset hacks. It's not habit stacking. There's so many words for these things. It is the integrated framework I built primarily from my healing journey, which I've spoken about. But I've also been a licensed healthcare practitioner for over 25 years, a licensed physical therapist. And I knew very early on in graduate school that the healthcare system didn't quite make sense. It didn't actually help people heal. And I curated my own career after 9 months of working in a clinic, just knowing that I truly wanted to help people heal, and how could I do that? And I went off on a journey of learning everything about mindful, intentional movement, food, nutrition, healthy lifestyle at that time, and began teaching that, traveling nationally, speaking in front of other healthcare practitioners, certifying other healthcare practitioners to help them also think outside the box to help people heal at the root cause level, because the traditional healthcare system does not do that. I think most of us know it's a sick care system, and I've always been curious about how we heal at that root, how we feel better. It wasn't until my healing journey that I really uncovered or got curious about healing at the root cause level. Before that, it was just what's healthy? Healthy food, healthy nutrition, healthy ways to think. So it's been over 25 years of that work now. And then my training as a life coach. So when I was in the midst of my healing journey, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to learn more. I need to understand how we heal at the root cause level. I did multiple life coaching programs, one of which was the Martha Beck life coaching program. And her book about True North was like, yes, that makes sense. And she gets it on the root level. I love listening to her speak. My whole education in holistic healing from my own healing journey, my deep study of the nervous system and regulating the nervous system, and that is a huge part of us healing at the root cause level. My experience with subconscious reprogramming and mental rehearsal, my own healing journey, again, profoundly influenced by Dr. Joe Dispenza, whose work in mental rehearsal and subconscious reprogramming is, I would say, the most powerful thing in my transformation. And when I say transformation, I mean healing. And when I say healing, I mean just becoming whole, okay? And my belief is that we are all becoming whole, more of our true self until the day we transition, okay? So it's integrating all of this, okay, into a framework that works. And again, coaching women for over a decade now to heal physical issues by uncovering and being their true self. It is my obsession and joy and work in the world, soul work in the world, all of it. So it's all of it. It's all of it combined and customized and tailored to the person or people in front of me, whoever I'm working with. And I do allow more than one person to do the work at one time. So 2 to 5 people can work together in these sessions. So lifestyle design is the work of all of that, okay? Or comes from all of that. Learning, getting curious, asking the questions, integrating it, practicing it. So what is it? What is true self lifestyle design? It's uncovering your true identity. It's already within you. Your true self is within you. wanting to come out and shine. Okay, this is an inside job. Only you can uncover your true self. My job, my role, is to guide you in how to uncover your true self, the systems and processes to uncover your true self that we now know because of the art and science of neuroscience, so many things. But we have the systems and processes to uncover the true self now, to know thyself. And that is truly your only life purpose. Your only life purpose is to uncover your true self and radically live as her in this life. That is the only thing that truly matters. Once we get that foundation, again, the soil, the healthy soil of what is your truth, how to live that on a daily basis, then life magically begins to become a bit easier. Okay, but you're never done doing the work, so don't get me wrong. I teach you how, but it's a lifelong evolution. So you don't all of a sudden one day know your whole true self and life is just perfect because you can just live that. That's not how the universe and life works. We gradually, again, in the moments of our life, and this is why being in the present moment is so important, we get information, we sense and feel so that we can choose differently in alignment with our true self. And there's more about that later, or when you sign up. So again, back to what exactly lifestyle design is. So 1, it's uncovering your true identity. Okay, 2, it's aligning your daily life with that identity, that conscious curation, weaving together one healing daily ritual into the next. And that can be magical, not rigid. It's not habit stacking again. It's not you planning, oh my God, I'm going to do this, and if I do all of this, then life will be perfect. No, that's control. Okay? We gently weave daily rituals together. And there's flexibility dependent upon what happens in the moments of your life for you to choose differently. And that's okay. Okay? It's a remembering. Okay? Lifestyle design is a remembering of the power of the radical present moment. It's in the moment that we can radically be in the moment, feeling and sensing. We're always being guided. So in that moment, not only feeling and sensing all of our senses, but also noticing symbols, information, messages, guides, words, things that might be trying to give us a message. Okay, we're always being guided. And then you can choose differently in that moment. Instead of choosing in alignment with your program conditioned self, you decide and declare to always choose in alignment with your true self. And this can be super uncomfortable because you don't know the outcome. And that's why people like to stay in the comfortable, is because they know the outcome, even if they don't like the outcome. It's comfortable. Okay, so we get into the uncomfortable. You experiment with making new decisions. Notice the outcome. It's uncomfortable, but it's your truth. So you're still willing to move into it. So it's a game, okay? And we do gamify it to make it fun and more light, okay? So back to what is lifestyle design? It is that uncovering of your true self, aligning your daily rituals with that. It's healing emotional and nervous system patterns. So cultivating emotional intelligence, learning what emotions are. Each of them provide guidance, all of them, the whole continuum of emotions. Okay, and we learn how to regulate the nervous system. We're shifting subconscious programs. We're creating rituals and gentle routines that support our energy. We're improving the food we eat, the movement we do, the sleep we get. And again, it's mindful and intentional, nothing rigid. We are working on better communication, knowing our truths and being able to optimally communicate them and cultivate boundaries. Boundaries are huge. We're designing environments that support the life we want. This includes our home, maybe the work we do. Okay, and we're reconnecting with, again, that true purpose, which our really only true purpose is to uncover our true self and radically live as that. But we have other smaller purposes. So upping our radiance and vitality. And that's just a few things, but it all works together. Lifestyle design is powerful. It's, again, our only purpose, to uncover our true self and radically live as that. So this is deep, powerful, life-changing work that prevents you from that regret of not living as your true self when you're on your deathbed, okay? And it touches everything. Your marriage, your parenting, your work, your health, your home, your creativity, your sense of self, how you speak to yourself. This is why people change so quickly, because when you change at the identity level, this is when people do this true self-life design work, you can change quickly, because when you change at that identity level, everything else recalibrates. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. And when I say change happens quickly, I'm not talking overnight. Now, you can have a quantum leap, which, again, I'm happy to share about on another day, another topic. Okay, so why I open this once a year and why now? So every December, I open up the end of the year lifestyle design reset. Here's why. December is a naturally reflective month. It's the one time of year where people feel the gap between the life they're living and the life they want. And let me repeat that. It's the one time of year that most people feel the gap between the life they're living and the life they want. Here's why. December is a naturally reflective month. It's the one time of year where people often feel the gap between the life they're living and the life they want, okay? And I like to bring that out in people. I want you to really feel that this year. If you have a gap between the life you're living and the life you want to live, I want you to recognize that. Decide and declare that you are done returning to the old version of yourself, that you know there's a true self version of you ready to come out and play the game of a life, okay? So this special deal, the door closes December 31st, okay? The pricing returns to its full 2026 rate on January 1st. This is the most accessible way to begin lifestyle design and the only way to lock in discounted pricing for all of next year, okay? So what the December reset includes. Here's exactly how the journey works. Step 1 is your free 1-hour lifestyle design call. So we hop on a call. It's kind of a discovery call. This is our starting point. We talk about where you are, what you truly want, and what needs to shift in 2026. It's powerful on its own, and it's free, okay? Even if you go no further, it's powerful. Step 2 is you sign up for the fast results sessions, and that's 2 sessions with support in between, okay? So again, step 2 is the fast results sessions. Normally that's $1,250, but through December it's $1,000, okay? So these 2 sessions are where you begin feeling real changes in energy, mindset, clarity, boundaries, rituals, identity, emotional patterns, and more in just 2 sessions, okay? These sessions alone can shift the direction of your life. And between session email support is where integration truly deepens. Okay, and then step 3, if you choose to continue in 2026, if you purchase your fast results sessions before December 31st of this year, 2025, you can lock in the full 12 session program for $7,500, which is normally $9,000. Okay, so for the full 12 session, 3-month transformation journey. Okay, for all of 2026, that can be locked in. The only thing you need to schedule and pay for, scheduling your first free hour, and then pay for the fast results sessions before December 31st. Okay, and then you can upgrade to the full journey anytime in 2026. Okay, no pressure, just the door held open for 2026 at that discounted pricing of $7,500. Okay, so customization. I'm huge on customization. So how this fits into real life. This work is highly customized. You can do it on your own, so just by yourself. You can do it with a partner. You can do it with a caregiver and the person that you support. So the caregiver and the person you're caring for, your loved one. You can do it with 2 to 5 women friends who all want a midlife reset, and that can be powerful. And I limit it to 5 because a container with more than 5 people, I just tweak a little bit. So I do bigger groups. I do work for concierge medicine practices, private practices that gather 10, 20, 30 people in a session, but that's just different. So in this container, 2 to 5 women, okay? Some of the most powerful transformations I've ever seen happen are in pairs and trios, okay? So we can adjust session length. It can be 30 or 60 minutes. I feel 60 minutes is the most powerful, or we can do more sessions at 30 minutes, but I do feel 60 minutes is powerful. We can adjust the session frequency. We can adjust focus areas, the pacing, the structure. So it's very customized. No 2 journeys look the same because no 2 people are the same, right? And no groups are the same when I'm working with 2 to 5 people. And sometimes when I'm working with people in a smaller group, they later decide to do 1 or 2 private sessions to just go a bit deeper than they could in the group. And that's the beauty of lifestyle design. It's built around you, your unique needs, and each session is different. So if you're on the fence, so before I close here, I want to speak to the part of you that might be hesitating, and I get it, believe me. Maybe you're thinking, I don't have time. I don't know if I'm worthy of this. Isn't this selfish? Does this work? I've spent my whole life holding things together. Who am I without the struggle? What if it actually works? What if it doesn't work? These are normal thoughts. Your mind is going to be going bonkers with the what ifs, okay? And usually the not good what ifs. So these are normal thoughts. They are protective thoughts. They're trying to keep you safe and comfortable, but they're not your truth. The truth is you are allowed to want a life that feels good. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to heal, become whole. You are allowed to live aligned with your true self. That is why you're here. You just need to give yourself permission to do that, to go on a journey, to make it your mission to uncover your true self and radically live in alignment with her in the moments of your life. You don't need to be ready. You just need to be willing. Okay? So here is your invitation. If you don't want to repeat the same patterns in 2026, if you're ready for alignment, energy, clarity, and truth, if you're ready to live a life true to you, your moment is now. Then here's what you need to do. Schedule your free 1-hour lifestyle design call. You do that. There's a link on my website to schedule the calendar on the calendar. Feel free to text me 202-320-5025, cell phone number. Text or call me and we'll get you scheduled. Or again, use the link on the website, agewellhomeandlifestyle.com. There's a calendar link to schedule a 1-hour free call. The next step, remember, you purchase your fast track sessions, your fast result sessions before December 31st. Okay? That locks in your 2025 pricing for all of 2026. Begin the most important reset of your midlife season. And again, I say midlife because that's primarily who I work with now. But it can be at any age. You're never too young, never too old to begin getting curious about your true self and choosing, deciding and declaring to live in alignment with that. Okay? Your future self, which is already within you, is asking you not to abandon her again. She's asking you to choose differently this time, to learn new ways. She's asking you to choose you. I would be honored to guide you on this journey. Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing a life that feels true to you. And remember, you can share the cost. Do it with family members. Up to 5 people can share the cost. It is a no-brainer. I truly look forward to guiding you on this journey. Connect with me for questions. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in to the Age Well Home and Lifestyle podcast. If this episode sparks something in you, share it with a friend or family member. Let it be the start of a real-life, meaningful conversation because that's how we grow together. And I'd love to hear from you. What topics are you curious about? What questions are on your mind? Reach out and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, live true, and keep creating a life and home that's aligned with your truest self.